Listening to Braves Country Radio. Please like and subscribe today. YouTube.com/@BravesCountry. A is for Alex, the great Alexander. More goose eggs he pitched than a popular gander. B is for Bresnahan, back of the plate. The Cubs were his love and McGraw his hate. C is for Cobb, who grew spikes not corn and made all the basemen wish they weren't born. D is for Dean, the grammatical diz. When they asked who's the tops, said correctly I is. E is for Evers, his jaw in advance, never afraid to tinker with chance. F is for Fordham, and Frankie and Fish. I wish he were back with the Giants, I wish. G is for Gehrig, the pride of the stadium, his record pure gold, his courage, pure radium. H is for Hornsby. When pitching to Raj, the pitcher would pitch, then the pitcher would dodge. I is for me, not a hard-hitting man, but an outstanding all-time, incurable fan. J is for Johnson, the big train in his prime, was so fast he could throw 3 strikes at a time. K is for Keeler, as fresh as green paint, the fastest and mostest to hit where they ain't. L is for LaHoy, whom Clevelanders love, Napoleon himself with glue in his glove. M is for Matty, who carried a charm in the form of an extra brain in his arm. N is for Newsom, Bobo's favorite Ken. You ask how he's here, he talked himself in. O is for Ott, of the restless right foot. When he leaned on the pellet stay put. P is for Plank, the arm of the A's. When he tangled with Matty, games lasted for days. Q is for Don Quixote, Cornelius Mack. Neither Yankees nor years can halt his attack. R is for Ruth, to tell you the truth. There's no more to be said, just R is for Ruth. S is for Speaker, swift center field tender. When the ball saw him coming, it yelled, I surrender. T is for Terry, the giant from Memphis, whose 400 average you can't overemphasize. U would be Ubel if Carl wore a Cockney, but we say Hubble in baseball like football in Rockney. V is for Vance, the Dodgers' very own Dazzy. None of his rivals could throw as fast as he. W, Wagner, the bow-legged beauty, short, close to all traffic with Honus on duty. X is the first of two X's in Fox, who was right behind Ruth with his powerful socks. Y is for Young, the magnificent sigh. People battled against him, but I never knew why. Z is for Zenith, the summit of fame. These men are up there. These men are the game. Lineup for yesterday, Ogden Nash, January 1949, Sport Magazine. Hey Braves Country, this is Mac Magee with Braves Country Radio. We are bringing you pitch by pitch, play by play of your Atlanta Braves all year long. Please like and subscribe today. It's free and it helps us bring you more of the game we all love. Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Hey, Braves Country. Hi, I'm Mac Magee. We'll be bringing you play-by-play, pitch-by-pitch, inning-by-inning of your Atlanta Braves. Please like and subscribe to youtube.com/@BravesCountry. You're listening to Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Hey, Braves Country. I'm Mac Magee. Join us for pitch-by-pitch, play-by-play, the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. We're bringing you Atlanta Braves baseball all year long. Jump into our pregame show, Braves Country Today, just before first pitch. Stick around for the postgame show, Braves Country Tonight, where we will open up the phone lines and react to your calls or your comments all year long. That's Braves Country Radio, pitch by pitch, play by play, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball.
You're in Braves country.
How is it going, Braves country? Going to have a real quick pre-game show for these spring training games. There's not a lot to go over, but we did get bad news. We don't know how bad the news is, but we did get bad news this morning as Ronald Acuña Jr. is heading back to the guy out in California who worked on his knee surgery, and he is feeling pain in his knee. And there, as of right now, it's not a full-blown panic mode because they're saying that it hasn't shown any tears, or at least that's what they're revealing. We'll find out down the road which is right, but essentially what's going on is he's going to go out there and have an MRI done on Monday, and we will know more about it after that MRI. Now, it could be something where there's nothing that needs to be done. It could be something where he just needs some rest and recovery, or he could. I don't believe it's a major injury from everything that they're showing us at this point, but I do believe that we're looking at a possibility of Ronald Acuña Jr. not being ready for the regular season, because if he has to take any time off, which is what it's sounding like, looking like at this point, what you're talking about is that they would have to shut him down for a period of time. And then at that point, he would come back and have to do his own spring training workouts and get reps in and whatnot. Cause he really hasn't, he's only had a few at bats here this spring. And what we believe is the cause of the injury, as I saw a lot of folks that were overreacting and saying, what is he doing out there playing winter ball? Realized in the winter ball, he wasn't playing much defense at all. He was DHing. But what it looks like, and he came into camp feeling well, everything was good to go. But there was a rundown play this week in between second and third where he was trying to avoid the tag. The game wasn't on, so none of us actually saw. We just saw side clips of it. And that possibly could have been the injury. And I want to be accurate, so I'm going to go ahead and pull up the actual tweet about it. A couple of people have broken it, but I'm going to go to the actual tweet that was said. First of all, The Athletic is reporting sore right knee, examined Monday, revealed irritation around the meniscus in his knee. Irritation is one thing. That could be laser surgery. That could just be rest. If there was a tear or if there was, anything like that, then we would be much more concerned. And David O'Brien of The Athletic, if you're not familiar with that, it's basically the New York Times. The New York Times bought it. So David O'Brien of the New York Times is the Atlanta Braves beat writer. And he said this, while the Braves remain optimistic that Acuna will be ready for opening day, much will depend on the test and evaluation on Monday. And I think that's pretty obvious. So saying this was a few hours ago, initial tests show only irritation of the meniscus, which that could be anything. That could be just some swelling, whatever. But he will have his right knee worked on. And there were some people coming. I don't know why they do this. They attack O'Brien and the other beat writers like they have anything to do with any of this, right? They're literally just there to report. But you don't even go to these writers for anything like creative, fiction or nonfiction. It's literally just what I see. Write it down. Let's go. And he's been doing this for a long time. And they came at him, and they came at a couple of the others. And I don't know why the fans did this. I know they're mad, more scared than anything, because you're a big Braves fan. You've been looking forward to the season, and now your best player, the best player in baseball, could be on the shelf. But we don't know what caused it, but that would be my guess. Because after that rundown, he walked away a little gingerly, and it was shortly after that we what was it, yesterday and the day before. So the game that we did on Wednesday right here on Braves Country Radio, he did not play in that game. He didn't play yesterday either, or Friday. And you start wondering, all right, what the heck's going on here? Well, now we know. And so he's like I said, he's going to go out there Monday. We'll probably get some kind of idea of what's going on. They're out there on the left coast, so we're talking about maybe Monday night, maybe Tuesday. We'll find more about it. Once we know more, we'll definitely report it right here. But just don't get too in front of it. Don't freak out too much, because sometimes these are just minor things. And also, it's spring training, so they're not worried about him missing a ton of time. Because if it's something very, very minor and he just needs a few days rest or whatever, let's say he takes a week off or so, he would still have a week or two to be able to get at bats. And obviously, the big picture for the Braves is we've got to figure out a way to get him healthy and ready to roll for the bulk of the season. The first few days of the year, the first week or two of the year, that's not going to be a gut punch. The gut punch would be to have him play through it, and then he's on the shelf for long term or shut down for the year, which is obviously the worst case scenario. But anyways, that's what's going on. You do wonder, depending on what's going on with this, will the Braves go out and sign? Look, there's some guys out there that they could sign to a pretty low price. If it's long-term, they become more attractive to someone. No one's going to replace Ronald Acuña Jr. in the lineup. We know that. But he becomes more attractive, or the Braves become a more attractive spot for a veteran who might be holding out, not just for more money, but they might be holding out for more playing time somewhere. And this would not be the answer, but I give you the example of Kevin Pillar. Kevin Pillar didn't re-sign with the Braves, mainly because he wants to play wherever he's at. Now, he's obviously nowhere near Ronald Acuña Jr. status, but it's that type of thing that they would start looking at. So we're going to look at that during the game, during the broadcast, and give you some ideas. We're going to take a quick break, step aside, get ready for first pitch by pitch, play by play of your Atlanta Braves coming your way. Reynaldo Lopez is on the mound today, and we'll see who else gets in. It would have been the Max Fried spot, but I believe they're pushing him back a day just because they wanted Reynaldo Lopez to actually get a start. Reynaldo Lopez came in on Monday for the actual bullpen game, out of the bullpen, and he came in after Max Fried. So we'll see how they play it out. They don't tend to announce it. They'll have a game plan, but they don't tend to announce it much as far as, so we'll see. Could get Max Fried in, but most likely not. And Bryce Elder had another rough outing yesterday. He looked okay coming out of the gates, but then he just kind of scuffled there at the end. But we got a lot of good stuff to talk about here on the broadcast. We're going to go ahead and step aside real quick. Be right back. When we come back, pitch by pitch, play by play of your Atlanta Braves. And we'll talk about what happens if Acuna can't go. If he can't go at the beginning of the season, what are our options? We'll be back. Braves, Blue Jays. Playing the Blue Jays today. We'll be right back. Hey, Braves country, I'm Mac Magee. Join us for Pitch by Pitch, Play by Play, the classic call of Braves country baseball. We're bringing you Atlanta Braves baseball all year long. Jump into our pregame show, Braves Country Today, just before first pitch. Stick around for the postgame show, Braves Country Tonight, where we will open up the phone lines, react to your calls or your comments all year long. That's Braves Country Radio, pitch by pitch, play by play, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Casey at the Bat by Ernest Lawrence Thayer. The outlook wasn't brilliant for the Mudville Nine that day. The score stood 4-2, but with 1 inning more to play. And when Cooney died at first and Barrows did the same, a pall-like silence fell upon the patrons of the game. A straggling few got up to go in deep despair. The rest clung to the hope which springs eternal in the human breast. They thought, if only Casey could but get a whack at that, we'd put up even money now with Casey at the bat. But Flynn preceded Casey, as did Jimmy Blake, and the former was a hoodoo, while the latter was a cake. So upon that stricken multitude, grim, melancholy sat, for there seemed but little chance of Casey getting to the bat. But Flynn let drive a single, to the wonderment of all, and Blake, the much despised, tore the cover off the ball. And when the dust had lifted, and men saw what had occurred, there was Jimmy safe at second, and Flynn a hugging third. Then from 5,000 throats and more rose a lusty yell. It rumbled through the valley, it rattled in the dell. It pounded on the mountain and recoiled upon the flat, for Casey, mighty Casey, was advancing to the bat. There was ease in Casey's manner as he stepped into his place. There was pride in Casey's bearing, and a smile lit Casey's face. And when responding to the cheers, he lightly doffed his hat. No stranger in the crowd could doubt 'twas Casey at the bat. 10,000 eyes were on him as he rubbed his hands with dirt. 5,000 tongues applauded when he wiped them on his shirt. Then while the writhing pitcher ground the ball into his hip, defiance flashed in Casey's eye, a sneer cooled Casey's lip. And now the leather-covered sphere came hurtling through the air, and Casey stood a-watching it in a haughty grandeur there. Closed by the sturdy batsman, the ball unheeded sped. That ain't my style, said Casey. Strike one, the umpire said. From the benches black with people, there went up a muffled roar, like the beating of a storm waves on a stern and distant shore. Kill him! Kill the umpire! Shouted someone on the stand, and it's likely they'd have killed him had not Casey raised his hand. With a smile of Christian charity, great Casey's visage shone. He stilled the rising tumult, he bade the game go on. He signaled to the pitcher, and once more the dun sphere flew. But Casey ignored it, and the umpire said, "Strike two!" "Fraud!" cried the maddened thousands, and echoed answered, "Fraud!" But one scornful look from Casey, and the audience was awed. They saw his face grow stern and cold. They saw his muscles strain. And they knew that Casey wouldn't let that ball go by again. The sneer is from Casey's lip. His teeth are clenched in hate. He pounds with cruel violence his bat upon the plate. And now the pitcher holds the ball. And now he lets it go. And now the air is shattered by the force of Casey's blow. Oh, somewhere in the favored land, the sun is shining bright. The band is playing somewhere, and somewhere hearts are light. And somewhere men are laughing, and somewhere children shout. But there is no joy in Mudville. Mighty Casey has struck out. Casey at the Bat, Ernest Lawrence Thayer, published June 3rd, 1888. San Francisco Examiner.
There's something kind of about a kid that's never played baseball.
If baseball is about caring, about loyalty and rivalry,
Baerga is 0 for 3. Left center field. Grissom on the run. The team of the 90s has its world championship.
There's a very peaceful thing. It was created and played in pastures and meadows. There's grass, there's outdoors, there's everything that people thought was American and feel about America you get in a ballpark. And it's the wonder of walking through that dark tunnel and seeing a huge open space where men play the little boy's game.
I believe in the Church of Baseball. I've tried all the major religions and most of the minor ones. I know things. For instance, there are 108 beads in a Catholic rosary and there are 108 stitches in a baseball. I prefer metaphysics to theology. You see, there's no guilt in baseball, and it's never boring. It's a long season and you gotta trust it. I've tried them all, I really have. And the only church that truly feeds the soul day in, day out is the Church of Baseball.
Touch 'em all, Joe! You'll never hit a bigger home run in your life!
A room in right center. If he hits one there, we can dance in the streets. The 2-1. Swung line drive, left field. One run is in. Here comes Brave. Here's the throw to the plate. He is safe. Braves win. Braves win. Braves win. Braves win.
You're in Braves country.
We're down to one strike here. Gurriel, the last hope for the Houston Astros. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Swung on, bounced over to Dansby. Dansby fires it over to first. And here comes the dog pile. Fire the cannons in the battery. Do the chop all throughout Braves country. Pop that top. Your Atlanta Braves have won it all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we once were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there.
Good Saturday morning to you, Braves country. Some overcast clouds. Hopefully we get this game in, but we'll be here for you as long as this game goes. Obviously, during the regular season, if there's a rain delay, we'll stick with you. But if it's a long delay on spring training, they usually just shut it down, so we won't even worry about it. But we are going to try to at least get a part of this game in. Hopefully it'll get rocking and rolling. Reynaldo Lopez is on the bump for your Atlanta Braves tonight, or this afternoon. Looks like night because of the clouds in the sky. And Chris Bassett, we remember him from his days with the New York Mets, second year with the Toronto Blue Jays. He is going to be starting the game for the Toronto Blue Jays. On the Atlanta Braves, leading off today is going to be Ozzie Albies. If you missed the pregame show, Ronald Acuña Jr. is heading out to Los Angeles on Monday to get a second opinion, and he is dealing with irritation in his right knee meniscus. Same injury, same knee that we had earlier, or what was it, 2021. Now, they don't think it's the same injury, but it's the same knee that he did injure. It's going to be Ozzie Albies playing second base, Orlando Arcia batting short, and we're just about ready to begin. Yes, sir! It is baseball time in Braves country. The first pitch on the way. Ozzie Albies whistles one right up the middle, and just like that, we've got ourselves a leadoff base hit. One on, nobody out here in the top of the first inning. Following up Ozzie Albies today, it'll be Orlando Arcia batting second, playing short. Travis d'Arnaud is behind the plate and batting third. Jordan Luplow in left and batting fifth. Liberato is in the designated hitter role and batting fifth as the first pitch on the way to Orlando Arcia is swung on and fouled down the third base line. It's 0-1. Rounding it out, you got Eli White in right, Garcia at third, Luke Williams at first, and JP Martinez in center batting ninth. The 0-1 pitch, little bit off the plate, but called for a wide strike. Arcia does not like it. It's 0-2. Braves nothing, Blue Jays nothing. Welcome in, Braves country. Please like and subscribe. We'll be bringing you pitch-by-pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves all year long. The 0-2 pitch swung on, popped up, can of corn just past the infield on the second base side. That'll be easily caught. F4 in your scorecard. And there's one away. Atlanta Braves, Toronto Blue Jays. That was Escobar on the catch for the Blue Jays. Blue Jays are in their navy tops, white bottoms, as the first pitch comes across the plate and misses for a ball just out of the zone up high. It's 1-0 to Travis d'Arnaud. Dark blue, I guess they're not quite navy with the Blue Jays. Dark blue tops, white bottoms. Blue Jays across the chest in white. And the Toronto Blue Jay logo down below. The Atlanta Braves today, as they throw over to first to keep Ozzie Albies close by. They're in their navy tops, gray bottoms. Atlanta across the chest in red, outlined in white. Numerals in red, outlined in white, and the names across the back in white. Atlanta across the chest and the tomahawk underneath. The 2-0 pitch to Travis d'Arnaud, down and away. It's 3-0. So a 3-0 count. Blue Jays are wearing their dark blue caps with the white front and the Blue Jay logo and the light blue bill. The 3-0 pitch right down Main Street, called for a strike. It's 3-1. Braves nothing, Blue Jays nothing. Top of the first inning if you're just joining us. The 3-1 pitch from Bassett. Rocks and fires. Runners on the move in. Ozzie Albies has himself a stolen base. Nice base running by Ozzie Albies. He got a good jump, and the pitch was low and away. Just kind of stuck it in their pocket and let Ozzie get the base. So a full count to Darno. Ozzie stands on second. One away. They are in the shift. Anything to the right side is going to have some holes to it. The 3-2 pitch on the way. Swing, and that ball's hit hard on the ground. It's going to get through to the left fielder. Here comes Ozzie Albies. He's coming around. The throw to the plate. He is safe. The ball was cut off, and your Atlanta Braves take a 1-0 lead. Good hustle by Ozzie, sending the ball the way. Travis d'Arnaud, hard hit ball on the left-hand side of the infield. Shortstop tried to backhand it, just kind of went underneath his glove, almost like a croquet ball, hardly hit. So 1-0 your score, 1 on, 1 out. The first pitch on the way to Jordan Luplow is outside for a ball. It's 1-0. Luplow, the right-hander. From Visalia, California, the 1-0 pitch swung on. That ball is hit high, towering shot down the right field line. Plenty foul. Evens up the count at 1-1. Luplow was drafted by the Pirates way back in 2014 out of Fresno State. He did play a few games for the Braves last year with 10 at-bats. The 1-1 pitch swung on, and that ball is belted high into the sky and yanked and cranked. That baby's gone. A 2-run shot, and your Atlanta Braves take a 3-0 lead. Jordan Luplow's first home run of the spring. That was a hanger and a banger. Bassett would love to have that one back. That brings Liberato to the plate. Liberato takes the first pitch. For a ball, it's 1-0. Righty-lefty matchup. Bases cleared after the 2-run shot by Luplow. The 1-0 pitch is right there at the knees inside, but just clipped the zone. It's 1-1. Braves 3, Toronto nothing. The 1-1 pitch. Check swing up top. Did he go around? They're going to check down the third base line. And they said he did not. The screen has now corrected itself, so they must have given him the strike. It's a 1-2 count. The pitch on the way, high across the chest, misses over the plate, but up high, it's 2-2. The 2-2 from Bassett lets her fly, swing, and that ball's belted down the first base line, but plenty foul. Hard hopper past the dugout. It's 2-2. The 2-2 pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Outer edge could not keep up with it. I think Liberato might have been looking for something off speed and got caught with his hand in the cookie jar. There's 2 away. The first pitch on the way to Eli White, who's having himself a pretty good spring, is up high in the zone that called for a strike. It's 0-1. Eli White batting .571 this spring. One of the favorites to make this roster off the bench, because, of course, he could get much more playing time if the Ronald Acuña Jr. injury is a bad one. 1-1 count. Bassett lets her go. Swing and a miss. It's 1-2. The 1-2 pitch from Bassett takes a second to reset himself. Pitch on the way, swung on and dribbled foul down the third base line. Do it again at 1-2. If you missed it early, Ronald Acuña Jr. heading to Los Angeles on Monday to take a look at his knee. They don't think it's a tear, but they are calling it irritation in his right meniscus. If you also missed it this morning, Matt Chapman signed a 3-year deal, $54 million with the San Francisco Giants. The 1-2 pitch swung on and sawed off foul down the right field line. We'll do it again. Chapman had been rumored to be heading to San Francisco all offseason, and they both basically played the waiting game. The 1-2 pitch swung on, fisted down the third base line. It's going to stay fair. The hard throw. Did he beat it? They're going to say they got him. That was a close play. We'll take a look at the replay when we come back. Back in a flash here on Braves Country Radio.
Okay, listen, I might not be good looking, but let me tell you, my personality is also a show. I literally have nothing going for me.
Hey, Braves Country, this is Mac Magee with Braves Country Radio. We are bringing you pitch by pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves all year long. Please like and subscribe today. It's free, and it helps us bring you more of the game we all love. Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball.
I told my doctor I could only hear buzzing. He said, don't worry, it's just a bug going round.
If you're just finding my content, I'd like to say, welcome to the Freak Show, darling.
For the next decade and a half, Atlanta would dominate the National League, returning again and again to the postseason. The once promising Pirates would go in the opposite direction, often finishing at the bottom of the standings. And their supremely talented left fielder, who had almost thrown Bream out, would never again play for Pittsburgh. During the offseason, he would sign the most expensive free agent contract the game had yet seen. He would go on to become one of the greatest and most controversial players in the history of baseball.
No one in baseball ever supported Bobby Bonds. The owner, the general manager, the press, the teammates, nobody in the game stood up for the father. So what Barry learned about baseball was great talent matters, great scholarship about the game matters, but you can't count on anybody in this game to stand up for you because they didn't stand up for my father.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Reynaldo Lopez gets the ball for the Braves today, and the first pitch on the way, the fastball right there on the outer edge at the knees. It's 0-1. Lopez signing in the offseason with the Atlanta Braves, a 3-year deal worth $30 million. There is a fourth-year, $8 million option. The 0-1 pitch is outside wide for a ball. It's 1-1. George Springer at the plate for the Blue Jays. He had 21 home runs and 72 RBI in 2023. The 1-1 pitch quickly working, off speed and away, down and away. It's 2-1. The 2-1 from Lopez, high and out of the zone. It's 3-1. Lopez is in competition for that fifth starter position, but he also has a lot of experience in the bullpen. The 3-1, swing, and fouls it back. 3-2. Shortly after signing with the Atlanta Braves, if you miss it, he did comment to the media that said he does not have any preferences. He's just in here to compete. He will help the team any way he wants, which is what you love to hear. I do believe long-term he's a bullpen option. The 3-2 pitch, swung on and fouled back. We'll do it again, full count. if you look at his splits, and you'll be blown away by his velocity. The Atlanta Braves sure were when the White Sox visited last year. Matt Olson and Austin Riley talked about it quite a bit at Braves Fest. But if you look at his splits, as the 3-2 pitch, swung on, chopped, fouled, left of the third base bag, we'll do it again, full count. He is much more dominant as a reliever than he is as a starter, which makes sense because the batters only see you once. But it is mind-blowing how much more dominant he is as a reliever. The 3-2 from Lopez. High ball 4. And George Springer's on with the leadoff walk. Braves 3. Blue Jays nothing.
Get this bus moving. Stop. Come back. Too late.
Roll call! Yeah! Roll call!
You're in Braves country.
Roll call here in the bottom of the first, as we always do. Good seeing folks in the chat. Holler out to you here in just a second as Vladimir Guerrero digs in. The first pitch on the way to Guerrero's up the middle. Flip from Ozzie to Arcia. Pounces on second. Fires it down to first. And it's a rally-killing double play. 4-6-3, about as smooth as you'll see, to get the game going. The Braves, I think I mentioned earlier, but they are wearing their blue uniforms, dark blue navies with the red letters, Atlanta across the chest in red, all outlined by white, gray pants, and red ball caps with the Navy A and the Navy Bill. Justin Turner takes the first pitch for a strike on the outer edge. It's 0-1. So here we go for roll call. Wherever you're at, it's always great to know where you are, not only just who you are that you're listening. The 0-1 pitch, swing and a miss up top. It's 0-2. Good afternoon to Meredith. Good afternoon to Pushing Buttons. The 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss over the top. Strike 3, and that'll end the inning. So the Braves get out of it with the double play, and that'll end the inning. Braves 3, Blue Jays nothing. We'll be back in a flash and finish up roll call. You're listening to Braves Country Radio.
That's how you lose an attitude in 30 seconds. Step 1.
Nowadays, most baseball players are compensated very well, but this wasn't always true. Way back when, players would need another job just to be financially stable. So here are some of the more interesting jobs worked by baseball players. Rich Hebner had an 18-year career with over 200 home runs. In the offseason, he traded his bat for a shovel and dug graves for $35 a hole. Despite winning Game 2 of the 1966 World Series, Jim Palmer worked during the offseason where he sold suits and in his downtime signed a few autographs. Waite Hoyt was once part of the Yankees' most formidable lineup. In his spare time, he worked at a funeral home as a mortician. Rumor has it he once drove to the Polo Grounds with a cadaver in his car, made his start, and then drove it to its intended destination after the game. In 1920, Babe Ruth decided the baseball field wasn't the only place he wanted to be a star. That year, he starred on the big screen in the movie Headin' Home and made some extra cash while he was at it. Roy Campanella started his own farming business after he was rewarded 100 baby chickens for every home run he hit. He went home with 1,400 baby chickens. In 1957, Stan Musial and Willie Mays both worked after-season jobs. Musial sold Christmas trees and Mays sold cars. Not only was Denny McLain a 30-game winner, he was also an organist. He even made it all the way to the Ed Sullivan Show.
What you need to do is worry about your own sins. God ain't gonna be asking you about mine.
Will you pray the day before the playoffs?
Well, I'll pray every day. I try to talk to God every day, and I will pray during the national anthem, which is my period of meditation for praying. No, really, if you stick around the game, you listen to an old veteran like me, I'll show you how to talk on the air, boy. Yeah, talk, to TV. No, really, TV, cameras and going on like that. Huh? I'm telling you, man, I'll show you how to make a living with this stuff. I'll show you how to have the people eating right out of here.
2 outs and 2 on in the 7th inning here at Fenway. Deep to left.
Welcome back. First pitch on the way to Garcia, swung on and grounded to the right-hand side, easily scooped up by Vladimir Guerrero Jr. steps on the pillow just in front of Garcia, who was hustling down the line. It's 0-1. Back to the roll call. Good afternoon. We'll start this over to Meredith. Pushing buttons from Texas. Hussein. I hope I'm pronouncing that correct. Isaac. Good afternoon to Ryan. Thanks for the kind words, Ryan. Joyce in Mexico. Isaac in Michigan. And Travis. The 1-0 pitch to Williams. Luke Williams swung on, pops it up. Easy pop fly into left field. Making the catch, and there's 1 away. Or 2 away, excuse me. It's always really... So spring training games are already hard enough to call because all the substitutions and whatnot. And to add to it, the Blue Jays don't wear names on the back of their jerseys when they're at home. So all I see is numbers. So I'm going to have to go off of the chart that I have in front of me. First pitch on the way to JP Martinez, playing center field today, is high and out of the zone. It's 1-0. This is a road game for the Braves, so you're not going to see a lot of the starters play, but they may get some pinch hit duty. The 1-0 right there at the knees for a strike. It's 1-1. Might have been a tad low. JP Martinez coming over in the offseason trade has a chance to possibly make this squad. The 1-1 pitch swung on. That ball is rifled down the right field line, just about a half a foot foul. That would have been in the corner at least 2, if not 3. He'll head back to the dish. It's 1-2. So a 1-2 count as Martinez makes it back to the dish. Pitch on the way from Bassett, swung on and hit high. Easily playable into center. Good running catch by Kiermaier, and that'll end the inning. 3 up, 3 down. Braves lead it 3-0. We head to the bottom of the second.
I don't think people realize how much of a burden it is carrying around such a thick personality. Walking around with an absolute dump truck of a vibe is not easy.
All right, we are going to do northern versus southern words, okay?
Here we go.
We got ready? Okay, the stuff you put in your car is oil. Oil.
No, it's oil. That's motor oil.
I ruined, R-U-I-N-E-D.
I ruined my britches.
I drink soda.
Pass me a Coke.
I pushed the shopping cart.
That's a boogie.
Wash. I wash my clothes. W-A-S-H.
I washed my clothes.
There's no R in it. No R in it.
I washed my britches.
Okay. The house is on fire.
House on fire.
Fire.
Fire. Kind of like a car tire fire.
What?
A car tire fire.
Oh, I'm wearing pants.
I'm wearing britches.
Pants.
Britches.
Pants. And our last one is, I wear underwear under my pants. No,
your drawers, your drawers.
That's what goes in a dresser.
Nice. That's your drawers.
Drawers.
Your drawers.
Your drawers. D-R-A-W-E-R-S. It goes in a dresser.
No, drawers is what you wear under your britches.
In 1978, Steinbrenner's Yankees came from 14 games behind and then beat the Red Sox in a dramatic and for Boston fans excruciating one-game playoff to win the division title. It was the greatest comeback in American League history.
And a happy Bucky Dent.
New York then...
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. First pitch on the way from Lopez is inside. Sizzles just above the belt. Barely missing Bo Bichette. It's 1-0. That had to wake up Bo. Came in 97 miles an hour. The 1-0 pitch swung on, and that ball is going to get chopped through the infield. And on the shift, Bichette hit him where they ain't. Traditionally, it would have been right there at about the shortstop position, but they had Arcia played closer to third, and Williams on the line, so it's a leadoff single for Bo Bichette and the Toronto Blue Jays. So you talk about what happens if Ronald Acuña Jr. cannot play for a long period of time. First pitch on the way, up top for a strike, it's 0-1. Danny Jansen, the batter, 17 home runs last year, 52 RBI. The hind catcher for the Blue Jays today. Righty-righty matchup, the 0-1 pitch. Down and away, good take. It's 1-1. Here are some of your bigger name free agents that are still out there. I think the one that everybody thinks about off the jump is Adam Duvall. He is still an unrestricted free agent. At 35 years old, that would be my pick to be able to come in and play right field if Acuña's out for a long period of time. The 1-1, down and away, good take, it's 2-1. He would also be a good comp as a right-handed bat. When Acuña came back, you could have Duvall get some at-bats when tough lefties come to the bump, giving days off to guys like Harris and, of course, Kelnick. 2-1, down and away, and it's ball 3-1. So a 3-1 count. Runner on first, nobody out. The pitch on the way, swing, and that ball is tattooed into left field, caught on the short hop. No, he actually made the catch. I thought he had to wait for the hop. Looked like he might have trapped it, but they gave the catch to Luplow. There's one away. It's kind of a tough view that they have out there in left field. Obviously, the cameras are not as good as they are. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I think he might have trapped that. They're showing a better replay on one of the different monitors, and it looked like it might have skipped, but he did a great job of hiding it. Of course, they're not going to replay it during spring training. The first pitch on the way to Kiermaier's right there for a strike. It's 0-1. Righty-lefty matchup, 1 on, 1 out. The 0-1 pitch. Swing, and that ball is served into left field. That will get down for a base hit. The Blue Jays will have runners on first and second, 1 out here in the bottom of the second. Other guys that are also out there on the free agent wire. Now, you could also just roll with what we have. If it's only going to be a minor stint, then you would carry more outfielders, obviously, heading into the season. But let's say it's a long-term, looking at the options in right field, guys that specifically play right field, is the first pitch on the way to IKF, as he's known, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. Right there for a strike at the knees, it's 0-1. The 0-1. Down and away, just misses the zone, 1-1. Other guys that are still out there, free agents that are specifically right field. We'll get into other outfielders because you could slide Kelnick over to right field. He has played that position. The 1-1, down and away, ball 2, 2-1. The 2-1, it's kind of funny. I'm looking at the list, and they've got Jordan Luplow as a free agent, which we obviously didn't know. That's not true. We just saw him bat. 2-1 misses down and away. Ball 3, 3-1. Other guys that are out here, assuming that this list is correct, because when I see Jordan Luplow out there, I'm starting to wonder. JD Martinez is still out there. There's a 3-1 pitch swung on, popped up high in the sky, coming in. Making the catch is Ozzie, and he will double off the runner at second. Bichette did not expect it. Ozzie makes a catch over his shoulder, a la Willie Mays in the 54 World Series. Not quite as dramatic, but as is impressive. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country Radio.
I don't want to party like it's 1999. I want to buy a house and groceries like it's 1999, all right?
Meal prep this, meal prep that. Oh, I can't on Sunday because I have to meal prep all day. Here's my meal prep right here. I will obliterate a TV dinner daily until they lay me to rest. But oh my God, the chemicals in that. Do you even know what you're eating? Have you ever read the ingredient list? Save it. I don't give a ignorance is bliss, baby. Let me enjoy my school cafeteria slop in peace.
Talking about one of the best women to ever play the game, Doris Sam. Her career began at the age of 11 when she started playing softball with girls who were older than her. She went on to help her softball team win the state championship in 7 of the next 8 years. She is widely considered to be the only 6-tool player in the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League. She could hit for average and power. She could field, run, throw, and pitch. Even when the league went from underhand pitching to sidearm, she never skipped a beat, and if anything, she got better. At one point, she converted from pitcher to outfielder. She still ended up being an all-star at both of those positions at one point in time. Speaking of all-star teams, she made 5 of them to go along with her 2 Player of the Year awards. She won a batting title, a home run title, and was consistently among the leaders in offensive and pitching categories. Not only did she throw a no-hitter in her career, she also threw a perfect game. In her All-American Girls Professional Baseball League career, she had 15 more RBIs and 18 more runs than games played. Simply put, she was the best.
What made baseball so special for me as a young child, and what I wanted to give to my children, was a sense of continuity, a sense that the players that you cared about would be back the next year, and they were part of your family, and you knew their strengths and you knew their weaknesses. You even knew how they stood at the plate. I mean, I used to know how Carlton Fisk was going to go through all these crazy maneuvers before he hit the ball, and I used to know the spot on the left field wall that he would always hit, or I knew the way Burleson would get a double.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. The first pitch from Bassett, as he's back out there for a 3rd inning, is swung on and popped back foul from Ozzie Albies, who's leading off. He's 1 for 1 with the single, a run scored, and a nifty defensive play to end the inning in the 2nd. The 0-1 pitch misses high, looked like the cutter, so he's gone splitter cutter. It's 1-1. Other guys that are still out there that could be very affordable is the 1-1 hits high. It's 1-2. The problem with it the Braves are capped with is when you look at all the taxes and whatnot, they only have about $6 to $7 million to play with before they would hit the 3rd tax bracket in the collective bargaining agreement. As the 1-2 is taken in the dirt by Ozzie, it's 2-2. And if you do that, not only do you at that point pay the 100% of your tax to a player as the 2-2 pitch is swung on, bang foul down the right field line. It's 3-2, which is something the Braves are definitely trying to avoid. But then you also lose an early round pick. And that is something that Anthopoulos is not willing to give up either. The 2-2 swung on and sliced foul down the 3rd base line. And if he can avoid it, I think he would want to save the money in case he needs to make a move at the trade deadline. But some of the more, I do think we could get a friendly deal from Duvall just because he really enjoyed his time with Atlanta. The 2-2 to Ozzie. Swung on and grounded over towards second. Easily played. Scoops, flips. And it's a 4-3 put out and 1 away. Good dish from Escobar to Guerrero. But other guys that are still out there, J.D. Martinez, now he's primarily been a designated hitter, but you could in theory put him in left field. He would be okay. Slide Kelenic over to right. First pitch on the way to Arcia is just off the plate, but called for a wide strike. It's 0-1. That second time Arcia has been called for that wide high strike, and you can tell he does not like it. The 0-1 pitch swung on and grounded over towards third. Scooped up, grabbed by IKF. Bit of a wide throw, but a good stab by Guerrero, and there's 2 away, 5-3 on the putout. Other guys that are still out there of note, Cole Calhoun Saw him rumored to be signed. I don't know if he actually made that signing, but in theory, Cole Calhoun. And it's a pitch inside to Travis d'Arnaud. Misses to start the at-bats 1-0. d'Arnaud singled with an RBI in the first inning, driving in Ozzie Albies. The 1-0 pitch, a hanging curveball, but on the outer edge of the plate. d'Arnaud swings and misses. It's 1-1. So other guys of interest, Will Myers, though he's played predominantly first base the last few years, he is out there on the free agent docket. The 1-1 misses high and wide, 2-1. As far as guys that have played, all outfielders are available, not just predominantly right fielders. So 2-1 misses, ball 3, 3-1. So a 3-1 count. They have Michael Brantley on this list, but he retired. The 3-1 count swung on. That ball's hit hard right on the nose, but it's an atom ball to the left fielder Robertson. That'll end the inning. So the Braves 3 up, 3 down. We'll head to the bottom of the third. Reynaldo Lopez should be going out for a third inning.
Let's go. Your remaining years on Earth. 75 years. That's, man. Dude, I'm going to be on Earth for 75 more years, dude. I got to live more dangerously. 75, dude. Dang. Dang. That's too long, honestly, dude. I hope Earth gets better.
What is going on here?
I do not want to work.
Oh boy, here we go.
I'm tired of it. What happened to the girls who get to stay home and cook and clean and that's their job?
That's also a type of work, lady. I don't understand. You don't want to do anything or you don't want an office job?
And they get to just like relax during the day and just make sure everything's good when their husband comes home.
Oh, she doesn't want to work but wants to be a housewife but doesn't have a husband but wants to be a housewife that only relax. This one is more confused than a plastic bag trying to carry fire.
I don't want to be doing this. Whoever did that, bleep to all of you.
Not everyone should be allowed to have free access to internet and mobile phone.
Willie Stargell really was a good man. All the hopes that we direct toward other ball players came true in his case. I remember the 1971 World Series where those same two teams had played 7 games. And Stargell was a great player that year. And the leader had led the league in runs batted in and did almost nothing in the World Series. He popped up, struck out, same in the playoffs. And he never complained. He never said anything. He walked back. He never threw his bat down. And I went up to him after the series and near the end, and I said, "How can you do this? You must be dying." And his little son, Wilver Stargell Jr., was playing in the locker. And Willie made a gesture toward him, and he said, "The time comes when a man really has to be a man." And that's the kind of man he was.
Swingman is a high fly ball into deep right center field. Back goes single and away back to the wall. It's gone.
Welcome back, Braves Country Baseball. Reynaldo Lopez is back out there for a third inning. He's at 26 pitches. First pitch on the way to Escobar is swung on and banged off the plate. It's 0-1. Other outfielders that could be available out there, A.J. Pollock. We mentioned Will Myers and J.D. Martinez. Eddie Rosario, though, I don't see that one happening. The 0-1 swing and a miss. It's 0-2. I really hope we don't get Tommy Pham. He's still out there, but he's out there because he's been known to be a cancer in the locker room. The 0-2 pitch, right there at the knees, caught looking, strike 3. He got caught watching the paint dry on the outer edge, and there's one away. Some guys that might be a little more affordable. Kyle Lewis is listed as still as a free agent. So is Jackie Bradley Jr. That would be an interesting one. Very good defensive, but not much on the stick. The 0-1 pitch. Fastball top of the zone on the outer edge. Called for a strike. It's 0-2. The 0-2. Swing and a miss. Strike three. Blew it right past him. Top shelf, high heat, and there's two away. Robertson goes back to the dugout and gives out a big, like, wow, that guy blew me away. So that'll flip the order back over. George Springer takes a swing at the first pitch. Chopper to the right side. Lopez covering first. He'll step on the bag, and that'll end the inning. 3 up, 3 down. We'll be back in a flash. Braves Country Radio.
These kids nowadays really think they know what stress is. Back when we was growing up and you missed a TV show, you really missed it.
Hey, Braves Country, I'm Mac Magee. Join us for Pitch by Pitch, Play by Play, the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. We're bringing you Atlanta Braves baseball all year long. Jump into our pregame show, Braves Country Today, just before first pitch. Stick around for the postgame show, Braves Country Tonight, where we will open up the phone lines and react to your calls or your comments all year long. That's Braves Country Radio, pitch by pitch, play by play, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball.
Have you thought about managing in the future?
I have thought about it. Me and Stephen Vogt actually talked about it while he was here, and how fun it'd be. Hopefully manage a winning team. I think that'd make it a lot more fun. But I've definitely thought about it, yeah.
Would family conditions change any of that?
Yes, that would definitely be a huge conversation for us, especially with a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old. I know the hours being a manager is more so than being a player, because as a manager you want to be here before your players and you want to stay later than your players to make a great impression on your players. So that definitely be a huge conversation that is a lot longer than a small little Braves question. It'd probably be a multiple week, multiple month type of question.
But I think in the end, the thing that appealed to me most was the fact that it rewarded merit, that there is a justice to the game, that if you score, it goes up on the board, and if I score more than you, you lose and I win. That and the idea that we do it together, community. If only life were that easy, that whenever we learned to cooperate with one another and did the right thing, we won. That's what baseball is.
Welcome back to Braves Country Radio. Pitching change for the Toronto Blue Jays. It's the first pitch on the way. It's high and outside to Jordan Luplow. For a ball, it's 1-0. New pitcher for Minnesota. Toronto is the 1-0 pitch is swung on and over the top. Took a little bit off of that. Evens up the count at 1-1. Zeleda, is the right-handed pitcher coming in. The 1-1 right there at the knees. Good sinker on the outer edge. It's 1-2. Yasser Zeleda is from Cuba. 26-year-old, 6'1" right-hander, 190 pounds. Trying to make this team. The 1-2 pitch, down and away, 2-2. Trying to get him to chase that splitter over the top. So a 2-2 count. Pitch well off the plate wide. Ball 3, 3-2. So he's going to sinker split, slider, and then slider, then try to get him to chase that sink again. The 3-2 swung on and fouled, rifled it right back against the screen behind home plate. We'll do it again. Full count. Comes set. Lets her fly. Swung on, and that ball is going to get lifted, but not over the head of the shortstop, Bo Bichette. He kind of drifts back into shallow left field and makes the catch. There's one away. Zeleda has thrown 1 2/3 innings in this spring training heading into today with the 32.4 ERA. And it only takes one bad outing, doesn't it? First pitch on the way to Liberato. He serves it over to the left-hand side. Backhanded scoop, flips it over to first. A good play. A 5-3 putout. Liberato hit that ball hard on the ground, but good play by IKF, the ex-New York Yankee. Throw was kind of low, but another good scoop by Vladimir Guerrero Jr. You know, a couple of years ago, I remember hearing about how big of a issue Guerrero was having with defense, but he's looked pretty good today. First pitch to Eli White is on the inner cut for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1 inside. I don't know how that missed him, but it just missed the top of his thigh. 1-1. Ken Giles is pitching next. Don't go anywhere for the Braves. He was electric earlier this week. The 1-1 misses outside. Fastball. It's 2-1. Tyler Naquin is also an available outfielder that's out there on the free agent market. There's no one that's going to really wow you. Is the 2-1 away, 3-1. I think, to me, it's Adam Duvall or bust. If we don't get him, as long as it's not a long-term injury, I would say that you just ride with what you have. The 3-1 pitch inside almost gets him, and that'll be ball 4. And Mr. Eli White will head on down to first base with 2 outs, and he's got speed. One of the best base runners in baseball. He was banged up last year. They thought he was going to be Forrest Wall. The Braves decided to carry Forrest Wall and Eli White to start the season. We're talking about lightning on the base paths. First pitch on the way to Lurie Garcia. Down and away for a ball. It's 1-0. Garcia signed a minor league deal with the Braves. Could really end up helping the Braves out at some point this year. Did he get... Oh, there's a pickoff move, and Eli did a Olay type of tag, almost avoided the tag, but first base umpire said, nice try, but no dice. That'll end the inning. So Eli, he was about to go. I think the tag just tagged the bill of his batting helmet. We'll be back in a flash.
What's a sound nobody heard in a while?
Modern music is absolutely garbage. And I don't mean just hip hop, but I mean country, rock and roll, classical, rap. It all sounds the same. It's not even about the body of work no more. You can be famous off of one single. I seen a TikToker the other day that became famous off of a song, and she announced that she was going on tour off of one song. Like, what are you gonna do? You gonna repeat the same song for 2 hours? 80s and the 70s and the 60s. You could tell the difference between Johnny Cash and Ray Charles. Everyone is trying to transition into something. The talent doesn't exist anymore.
The Peaky Blinders emerged as a notorious street gang in Birmingham, England, during the 1880s. Comprised mainly of young criminals from lower to middle class backgrounds, the group engaged in a wide range of criminal activities, including robbery, violence, racketeering, illegal bookmaking, and gambling control. During that era, the name could stem from the gang's criminal tactics, as they were known to approach victims from behind and pull down their hats over their faces to prevent them from identifying their assailant.
Hey, does anybody else hit the lock button on their key fob 6 times on the road like it's going to make their car lock harder or something? Or is it just me?
There was a period when ball players were heroes, maybe for 100 years. And then there was a period when there was a lot of knocking down of heroes, of diminishing them. I hope we're reaching a period where we don't look up to the ball player or down at the ball player, but try to look at him levelly and see his gifts and his determination and his craftsmanship as heroic. But at the personal level, don't demand more of him than we do of people in our own family, ourselves, or our friends.
Your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. First pitch on the way from Giles to Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is a swing and a miss strike. It's 0-1. If you missed it the other day, Ken Giles came in, faced 3 Philadelphia Phillies, the heart of their order, and struck out the side. The 0-1 pitch. Waste pitch off the edge. It's 1-1. He struck out Bryce Harper, Nick Castellanos, and Alec Boehm. Back to back to back. It was extremely impressive, and he really is starting to make a case that he may be one of those guys that does get on the opening day roster. The 1-1 swing and a miss. It's 1-2. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. went fishing off the edge at that slider. Josh Turner stands on deck. The 1-2 pitch, down and away, 2-2. So he's gone slider, slider, slider. Then after the timeout by Vlad, tried to get him to chase a changeup off the edge. Ken Giles used to be, at one point, was one of the best closers in all of baseball. The 2-2, down and in. That was a close one. It's 3-2. And then a lot of injuries have really banged him up the last several years, almost the bullpen version of what Chris Sale is. A dominant pitcher who's fighting injuries. 3-2 pitch. Caught, looking, strike 3. Vlad doesn't like it, but now he's got a smile on his face heading back to the dugout. It was on the outer edge slider, and it just kissed the black. Good pitch by Giles. So we've called 4 at-bats for Ken Giles this spring, and every single one of them have been a strikeout to a major power hitter in Major League Baseball. First pitch on the way to Justin Turner is right inside for a ball. It's 1-0. I think I called him Josh Turner a second ago. I was thinking of Josh Donaldson. The 1-0 pitch. Outside wide, tried to get him to chase. It's 2-0. Justin Turner coming over from the Red Sox to the Blue Jays this offseason. The 2-0, outside wide, ball 3. And, of course, he was one of the main catalysts for the L.A. Dodgers for several years. The 3-0, down and away, ball 4. So Giles trying to get Turner to chase his off-speed pitch, puts a runner aboard with 1 down. Braves 3, Toronto nothing. If you're just joining us, Atlanta Braves scored all 3 of their runs in the first inning. Bo Bichette will come to the plate, the cleanup hitter for the Toronto Blue Jays. First pitch on the way to Bichette is swung on, hit hard on the ground to third. It's going to be a 5, 4, 3 inning-ending double play. How about that? We'll be back in a flash. Braves Country Radio.
Boy math is when he complains that you take too long to get ready, but he spends an hour on the toilet pooing.
All right, Brian, we have to talk about the customer service complaint that came through last week with the client on their delayed shipment.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So I told them I would brainstorm and circle back with them.
But no, they sent over your email to them and it said Brian Storm, which I know you keep making that mistake pretty often.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, it's getting old. It's not professional to communicate that way with clients.
Kate keeps calling me Brain in email, so I feel like I just messed up.
It's not appropriate to blame Kate in this situation.
I can connect with Kate. I think I still have a lot to learn from her, but
I think you have a lot to learn about a lot. And we'll talk next week, okay?
We'll brainstorm some ideas of what we can think about for.
See, this is what I'm saying is inappropriate.
He levels the bat a couple of times. Shao kicks and he fires. Rose swings. There it is! Get out! Get out! All right! Hit number 4192. A line drive single into left center field. A clean base
On September 11th, 1985, 44-year-old Pete Rose, now back with Cincinnati and managing as well as playing, got still another single and overcame Ty Cobb's lifetime record of 4,191 hits.
For Pete Rose, this certainly his crowning achievement. Just breathe it in. Boy, this is his game, it's his town, and it is his moment. This is one of the all-time great moments.
For a public tired of reading about the business of baseball, Pete Rose's triumph came not a moment too soon.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Atlanta Braves lead the Toronto Blue Jays in the spring training game. It is 3-0. So we head to the top of the inning. Bowden Francis is going to be the reliever for Toronto. More on him in a second. The right-hander set to face Lurie Garcia, who's back to his at-bat. First pitch on the way, up and high and tight, little chin music. It's 1-0. Garcia was standing at the plate when Eli White got picked off of first to end the inning last time up. The 1-0 swing and a miss. 1-1. Curveball. Took something off that one. That one almost paused in midair and then darted at his knees. Pitch on the way, swung on, grounded over to second. It's going to be a 4-3 putout. Escobar once again flips it over there to first base, and it's one away. Righty-righty matchup. Francis to face Luke Williams, the number 8 hitter. First pitch on the way is just high and off the plate. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. Outer edge up top. It's 0-2. The 0-2 from Francis. Swung on, pops it up high in the sky. Should be playable. Coming in, charging the ball, then backtracking, and it's going to be Vladimir Guerrero Jr. making the catch. He had a long way to go. Almost in that no man's territory that you get during the regular season, but they had Williams played a little shallow. Any of the three could have came in on that. They're still away. So 2 down, and JP Martinez is back to the plate. Martinez takes the first pitch, 74-mile-an-hour curve on the outer edge for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1, righty-lefty. Francis rocks and deals. Up high, just misses high and inside. It's 1-1. I got to know, Shay, listening in North Carolina, are you like Chipper Jones's kid that got named after Shea Stadium? The 1-1. Swing and fouls it straight back. It's 1-2. Always thought that was one of the funniest things that Chipper Jones, because he had such a dominant career against the Mets in Shea Stadium, they used to razz him that he named one of his kids Shea. We're all going to feel old when Shea Jones appears in the major leagues, aren't we? The 1-2 pitch. Just off the side, outside wide, 2-2. So a 2-2 count. 2 down, deuces wild. Ozzie Albies stands on deck. The 2-2. Curveball swung on and fouled straight back. We'll do it again. JP Martinez batting just 182. Hurston Waldrop is about to come in for the Braves. How about that? I've been waiting to see this kid pitch. The 2-2 pitch is swung on and fouled straight back. We'll do it again. Hurston Waldrop, for those of y'all not familiar with him, he was the first-round pick for the Atlanta Braves last year out of the University of Florida. He was one of the catalysts that got Florida to the College Baseball World Series. The 2-2, off the plate wide, ball 3-2. Skeens of LSU was the guy that everybody coveted, but there was an argument there for a while that Waldrop was just as good last year in college baseball. The 3-2 pitch, swung on, fouled straight back. We'll do it again. JP Martinez is really making him fight. This will be the 9th pitch of the at-bat. He's gone four-seamer 3 of the last 4 pitches. Full count, 3-2 pitch, swung on, slaps that back against the screen again. Another four-seamer. That one by Francis got up to 97 miles an hour. So he's coming in with 74-mile-an-hour hook and a 97-mile-an-hour fastball, mixing in an 85 slider. The 3-2. Swing and drags that foul down the first base line. We'll do it again. I believe that was the slider that time. So the 11th pitch of the at-bat, you don't see these a lot in spring training. Hurston Waldrop is set to come in for your Atlanta Braves next. The pitch on the way, swung on, pops it up, just got underneath it. Gives it a high ride, but it'll be playable out there in right field. Making the catch is George Springer. That'll end the inning. 3 up, 3 down. We'll be back in a flash. And when we come back, the Braves' best pitching prospect coming to the mound.
So I went to the trampoline park with my nephews, and someone's little cooter goblin there got me sick, okay? Little kids just be, hapoo, hapoo, hapoo. And everywhere they got sticky booger-infested hands. I don't know how I didn't think that I was not going to get sick, but here we are.
Let's do this. Making your bed in the morning is pointless. I'd rather listen to people speak than listen to music. Concerts are a waste of money when you can just throw a party and play the song. Vanilla ice cream is the only ice cream you should eat in Colorado is better than New York. Vacationing from one big city to another just to see the sights is pointless, and you need to go soak up some nature for once. All food is breakfast food, and breakfast food is just food. Dating apps are not dating apps, they're cheating apps. Having a wedding outside of your hometown and making people travel is selfish. Brunch is a scam. Kids know their parents more than parents know their kids. If tomatoes are a fruit, then ketchup is jelly.
I fortunately have the objective perspective of a Yankee fan, and therefore I have come to understand Boston pain in a way, but it's different. There are kinds of pain. There's Chicago Cubs pain, which is never getting there at all. Boston Red Sox pain is very special. Boston Red Sox pain means getting to the very last inch again and again and again, and then missing it by that little hair. It's 1946 when Slaughter scores from first on a single. It's 1948 when there should have been a Subway Series here in Boston, but they lost a one-game playoff to Cleveland. It's the year of the impossible dream, 1967, when they get into the 7th game of the World Series and nobody could beat Bob Gibson, not Lon Borg, on 2 days' rest. It's 1975 when, after winning the greatest game in the history of baseball and Carlton Fisk's home run in the 12th, they blow it in the 7th game of the World Series. It's 1978 when Bucky Dent, of all people, hits a home run and wins the game for my guys in a single-game playoff. And it's 1986, quintessentially, of course, when the ball goes through Mr. Buckner's legs, though one shouldn't play.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball, Braves Country Radio. Hurston Waldrop is coming to the mound. 22-year-old, standing 6'2", 210 pounds. And a 1.73 ERA in the minor leagues last year. Righty-righty matchup, first pitch on the way. Fastball right there at the knees on the inner cut. Wow, it's 0-1. He's set to face Jansen, the 5, 6, and 7 hitters. Righty-righty matchup. Jansen takes the pitch off the edge. 1-1. The 1-1. Just catches the outer edge Jansen doesn't like it, but it did look like it clipped the zone. Might have been a touch outside, 1-2. The 1-2 from Waldrop, working fast, misses high and out of the zone. 98-mile-an-hour fastball. That first one, it's registered at 99. The 2-2. Check swing off the plate. Stays alive. We'll do it again. He features a fastball, a splitter, and a cutter. Those are his three main pitches. So everything's pretty hard. The cutter's a little bit of an off speed. The 2-2. Caught looking, strike 3. He gone. So the debut of Herschel Waldrop here on Braves Country Radio, first time we've seen him, couldn't have gone much better. That was an impressive first at bat. He's now set to face the left-handed bat of the veteran Kevin Kiermaier. Righty-lefty matchup, the pitch on the way. Inside, four-seamer misses, it's 1-0. 98 on the gun on that one. The 1-0. Rocks and fires in the dirt, 2-0. I don't know if we would see him this year. I think the plan would be to have him come along fairly slowly, but the Braves have not been afraid to bring guys up early. We saw that with Spencer Strider, so we could see him in the bigs by the end of the summer. The 2-0 pitch swung on, fouled straight back, 97-mile-an-hour fastball. It's 2-1. The 2-1. Swing, and bangs that off his leg. 2-2. So a 2-2 count to Kiermaier. Herschel Waldrop, if you're just joining us, Atlanta Braves first-round draft pick in 2023 out of Florida, is on the mound. High expectations for this young man. Has an explosive delivery. Bigger version of Spencer Strider would be the best way to describe him. The 2-2 inside, 3-2. So a full count. Pitch on the way to Kiermaier. Swung on, pops it up high and deep into left field, drifting back, making the catch on the warning track is Luplow, and there's 2 away. He gave that ball a ride. The wind is blowing out here. Intends to fly out of this park. Home of the Toronto Blue Jays. First pitch on the way to IKF is an off-speed. Looked like the cutter in the dirt. It's 0-1. The 1-0 swung on, and that ball is hammered down the right field line. Foul up against the screen right there in the right field corner. Evens up the count at 1-1. So a 1-1 count. Pitch on the way. Cutter swing and a miss. It's 1-2. Cutter on the outer edge. TD Ballpark at Dunedin, Florida is where we sit. This Toronto Blue Jays Atlanta Braves matchup is the 1-2 pitch is swung on, and that ball's tapped foul. IKF giving them a battle. It's 1-2. The 1-2 just misses off the edge. Would have liked to have that call 2-2. Think a veteran in regular season game gets that call. Very close to where he got the first batter looking. The 2-2 in the dirt, ball 3. So a 3-2 count, 97-mile-an-hour fastball in the dirt. Waldrop comes set, lifts the glove, lets her fly high and inside. Whew, that ball was sizzling. 98 on the gun. And it's a 2-out walk. Atlanta leads this 3-0. For a spring training game is actually moving along pretty quickly. We've seen some of these games just drag because of all the substitutions. Escobar comes to the plate. Eduardo Escobar takes the first pitch inside for a ball. It's 1-0. Remember what Eduardo Escobar, ex-New York Met. He's played a little bit all over the league. The 1-0 inside, high and tight inside, 95 miles an hour just under the hands. So a 2-0 count. Runner on first, 2 outs. Pitch on the way, swung on, and that ball is lifted high, not very deep. Right center field, making the catch is Eli White, and that'll end the inning. So a good introduction here on Braves Country Radio. Hurston Waldrop puts one on, but he strikes one out. We'll be back in a flash.
Boy math is when he tells you he's 5 minutes away when actually he hasn't even left the house yet.
Okay, that time you mixed up boy math with urban math.
Dad, you have been wrong about everything.
What are you talking
Well,
about?
the girl I'm dating now, she admits when she's wrong, she tells me she's sorry, and she said she'll change for me.
Yeah, let me ask you this. Have you guys done anything you seen her without clothes on?
No. Why?
Yeah. You're dating a man. Women don't do those things.
I'm on my way to my sister's house. Why? Because she's hosting, calls it a potluck, which I thought meant marijuana and gambling, but it doesn't. It means she's cheap and we have to bring all the damn food. My other sister is going to show up with these things that I hate, her children. And there'll be other relatives that I'm not eager to see. My Uncle Ray will be there. Ray has always been the world to me. Round, gaseous, and polluted. My cousin Sheila will be there. Sheila likes to brag that she never got the COVID vaccine, she never got the booster, and she never got COVID. Which
I ain't even gonna lie, y'all. As soon as my direct deposit hit, my taste buds be allergic to everything that's in my refrigerator.
Hey, Braves Country, this is Mac Magee with Braves Country Radio. We are bringing you pitch by pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves all year long. Please like and subscribe today. It's free, and it helps us bring you more of the game we all love. Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball.
So I wanted to check out this because I thought it was comical, so I was wanting to see if somebody else thought it was funny.
Welcome back to the Braves Country Radio. Pitch on the way to Ozzie Albies leading off the inning is outside high and wide for now they call that a wide high strike. It's 0-1. Francis is back on the bump for the Blue Jays, the 0-1. Right there on the outer edge for a strike, slider, it's 0-2. Righty lefty, Ozzie Albies. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Might have barely got a piece of that, but the foul tip went into the glove of the hind catcher, and there's one away. So far, so good on the weather. I don't see any precipitation, though. There have been dark clouds at the stadium. An overcast day all game long. Orlando Arcia takes the first pitch for a strike, about belt high. Curveball that really made him bend backwards. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Righty, swing and fouls that down the line. Fastball on the outer edge, it's 0-2. So a 73 curve and a 94 fastball now has Arcia 0 for 2. The 0-2 swung on and drags that foul down the line. We'll do it again. Braves 3, Toronto nothing. Jordan Luplow hit a 2-run home run in the top of the first inning. Most of the damage done on that swing. The Braves scored all 3 of their runs there. As the curveball's dragged foul, it's 0-2. The 0-2. Outside wide. Did he hold up? They're going to check down the line. And the first base umpire says no dice, so it's 1-2. If you're just joining us, Ronald Acuña Jr. is heading to Los Angeles Monday to get looked at by an expert on his knee as the 1-2 pitch is popped up high in the sky, bending into foul territory, just gets out of play. We'll do it again. It's 1-2, 1 down. It's the same physician that worked on his knee when he had the torn ACL back in 2021. And it is the same knee, but they're not saying that there's any damage. They're calling it an irritation. They just want to get it checked out to make sure he's good to go. So a 1-2 count to Orlando. Pitch on the way from Francis. Caught, looking, strike 3. Desan Brown, by the way, has come in for Kevin Kiermaier into center. And Garrett Spain has replaced George Springer. Righty-righty matchup here. Travis Darnode comes to the plate. He takes the first pitch. Call that a... Yeah, he motioned like it was a strike, but it called for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Curveball, swing and a miss. It's 1-1. Home plate umpires' gestures for ball are very similar to what most of them use for a strike. The 1-1. Swing and whistles that right back behind home plate. Smacks it up against the screen. 1-2. Francis is at 30 pitches now. Got to figure he's got to be at the end of his rope. You can't imagine these kids are expected to throw much more this early in the spring. The 1-2 from Francis. Fastball high and wide. It's 2-2. 95 on the gun. Standing on deck is Jordan Luplow. The 2-2. Inside, curveball misses, bending near the batter, and it's 3-2. So a full count. Nobody on, 2 outs. Our next spring training game will be Thursday against the Red Sox. The 3-2 pitch swung on, lifted high and deep into right field just before the warning track, making the catch for out number 3. So another 3 up, 3 down. We'll be back in a flash. Bottom of the 6th we go here on Braves Country Baseball.
My money don't jiggle. However, my thighs and my belly do. So there's that.
You decided to walk to the park with the kids, something you've never done before.
I like to see where we are as a group. And I'll be honest, we had a good start, organized. Even that surprised me.
And when did you first learn their legs were tired?
You know, I'm not a good judge of distance, but I can say we still could see the house.
Parent-teacher conference go well this week?
Yeah.
Is your kid eating the glue?
Just likes to use it as chapstick, which I think is better, but...
What's the overall feeling when crossing a fairly major intersection with 2 young children?
Fear.
And can you elaborate on that?
Look, I'll say this. Gentle parenting is off the table in that situation.
You really went after that Gatorade when you got home.
I packed 3 water bottles, not knowing that my water bottle was to be a refill for theirs.
Did we see a bit of a limp out of the car?
Yeah, my legs fell asleep. 2 sessions I sat through in a tiny chair at a tiny desk with regular chairs in the rooms.
You ever had your heart broken so hard that you just enter your grandma era? I mean, like, I've always been in mine. This shirt makes me feel like I could do a puzzle or something.
If you find yourself having a bad day today, just remember this. There is somebody from your hometown still trying to be a rapper.
In Game 6 at Shea Stadium, the two teams fought through the ninth, with the score tied 3-3.
NBC had the World Series in 1986. It was my job to be in the Red Sox clubhouse after the 6th game. I went down at the end of the 8th inning. The score was tied, but I knew I had to be there quickly in case the game should suddenly end. So I watched the last couple of innings from the corner of the Red Sox dugout.
Aguilera brings it in to Henderson. Swinging a long one into left field. That ball might leave the park. It's a home run, and Boston leads here in the 10th inning.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. The first pitch on the way from Herschel Waldrop, who's going to get another inning of work out there, is swung on and fouled down the line to Robertson. It's 0-1. The 0-1 pitch, inside fastball, just misses. 1-1. Some more substitutions. Justin Dean is now playing center field for J.P. Martinez. As the 1-1 swung on, fouled back. It's 1-2. Drake Baldwin is now the hind catcher for Travis d'Arnaud, and Nacho Alvarez, the young shortstop, comes in for Orlando Arcia. The 1-2 pitch swung on, fouled straight back. We'll do it again. And Reynaldo Lopez is in for Ozzie Albies. The 1-2. Fastball high and inside, 96 miles an hour, 2-2. So a 2-2 count. Pitch on the way from Waldrop. Outside wide, ball 3. Full count. Leadoff man. The number 9 hitter. Top of the order about to flip over for the Blue Jays. 3-2 pitch on the way. Swung on and chopped foul down the first base line. Do it again at 3-2. Real quick scoreboard update here on the spring training scoreboard. Minnesota leads Philadelphia 2-1 in the 6th. Orioles 1-0 over the Yankees in the 6th. The 3-2 pitch, down and in, ball 4. So struggling a little bit with this command is Waldrop. Garrett Spain is now coming to the plate. First pitch on the way to Spain is a swing and a miss over the top. It's 0-1. Spain coming in for George Springer. Right now it will be followed by Vladimir Guerrero Jr. if they do not pull him. The 0-2, swing and a miss over the top. Or 0-1, it's 0-2. So an 0-2 count. It's gone fastball, changeup. Pitch on the way, runner goes, swing and a miss, strike 3. Throw on the way, got him! Double play! A bang-bang swing, strike him out, throw him out. Twin killing. Good tag by Nacho Alvarez. And a fine throw by Baldwin. He came up firing and has an absolute pistol. Pretty good jump by the runner, but good tag by Alvarez. He went to the ball and tagged him high on the belt and got him. First pitch on the way to Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Hard hit over to the right-hand side. Off his back foot, Williams fires it over to first, and it's a 5-3 put out to end the inning. Essentially 3 up, 3 down. We'll be back in a flash. Braves Country Radio.
I'm mad. I have to go to work. I have to earn a living. I'd rather have a private income and get laid well and often.
Where do men find the audacity? I was in Walmart, okay, and I was shopping, and this man comes up to me, and he said, your dress, it's giving butter churning vibes. But, okay, just because you add vibes at the end of something don't mean it's any less insulting.
Audited? Why? What are you talking about? I'm not scamming the government, if that's what you're saying.
Your license plate says scamming.
No.
What do you mean, no?
Yes.
When your girlfriend asks who you're talking to on the phone, tell her a hooker. Be a man.
What's that?
Eye cream.
From where?
From Paris.
How did you pay for it?
One of my credit cards is still working.
Oh, you're charging things to your credit card. I see. And how are you going to pay for it?
I don't think you understand. I already have it.
I watched Dave Henderson hit his home run, and the Red Sox tack on another run in the top of the 10th.
And look at this bench.
And with the score 5-3, I went back into their clubhouse. They had put the cellophane over each of the lockers in anticipation of the champagne spray. They had built the little podium from which to do the post-game interviews. The cameras and the cable and the microphones were all in place. The World Championship trophy was on a stand covered by a piece of cloth. Frail Mrs. Yawkey had been led in there, and she was standing next to the trophy, along with Commissioner Uberoth. And they were watching with me on a little monitor as the Mets came up to bat in the bottom of the 10th.
Welcome back. First pitch on the way from Francis to Luplo's, a swing and a miss over the top. It's 0-1. More substitution updates here in 1 second. The 0-1 pitch, teardrop at the knee. Another good curveball. It's 0-2. Devontae Brown is in for Will Robertson. Manuel Beltre is now playing second for Eduardo Escobar. The 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. And Luplo down on strikes. Tanner Morris has come in for IKF to play third. He'll be batting 7th. Spencer Horwitz replaces Vlad Jr. at first base. He'll be back batting 2nd. Liberato comes to the plate. He'll take the first pitch high and out of the zone. It's 1-0. Francis at now 37 pitches. The 1-0 swung on, fouled down the line. It's 1-1. A little surprising that he's still out there, but he must have gotten some more work in earlier in the spring. So a 1-1 count. Pitch on the way. Inside, ball 2. 2-1. Nobody on. Braves lead at 3-0 in the top of the 7th inning. The 2-1 swing and a miss. It's 2-2. Someone must have belted a grand slam or something, because the 1-0 Baltimore leads now 5-0. That flipped over quickly when we were at break. The 2-2 pitch, high and out of the zone, ball 3. Marlins lead the Mets 3-0 in the 5th. Red Sox 3-2 over the Nationals in the 6th. I think that's going to be a much more improved national team, especially from the offensive side this year. The 3-2 pitch, high and out of the zone, ball 4. So Liberato will head on down to first. One on, one out. Red Sox are doing a split squad. They also lead Tampa Bay 2-1 in the sixth, and the Astros are 2-0 in front of St. Louis in the sixth inning. Looks like we're going to get a pitching change. We will be back in a flash here on Braves Country Baseball. Welcome back. Eli White is going to be the batter. And the reliever coming in is Zach Pop. It's a great baseball name. Zach Pop, 6'4", 220-pounder, 27-year-old right-hander out of Brampton, Canada. Drafted by the Dodgers in 2017. Back to the action. 1 on, 1 out. Pitch on the way inside. Fastball almost gets him. It's 1-0. Zach Pop played his college ball at Kentucky, University of Kentucky, in the Southeastern Conference. Has bounced around from Baltimore to Miami and now with Toronto. The 1-0 pitch. Right there for a strike. It's 1-1. So a 1-1 count. Eli White, who's 0 for 1 with the walk. The good speed stands at the plate. Runner on first. Pitch on the way. Swung on. That ball is going to get lined to first, and it's going to be an easy double play ending the inning. Runner was tailing towards second base and was caught off the bag, and that'll end it. Braves lead at 3-0. We will head to the bottom of the seventh inning here on Braves Country Radio.
All right, I can't see you. Let me hear you. A 1, a 2, a 3. Me out to the ball game. Hey, me out to the find me something up, Cracker Jack. I don't care if I ever get back on the root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3, stretch around at the old ball game. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever get back. Let me root, root, root. You sound better tonight.
Welcome back. Jack Jackson Stevens will be the pitcher. Jackson Stevens had a 3 ERA and 5 appearances last year. First pitch on the way. Justin Turner is off the plate wide for a ball. It's 1-0. Remember, Stevens was coming off of arm surgery long way back, and he has a chance to make this team as well. The 1-0, swing and a miss, 92-mile-an-hour sinker on the outer edge. It's 1-1. The 1-1 pitch, top of the zone, just misses high, curveball, 2-1. Turner with a walk and a strikeout so far. The 2-1 pitch takes that one low and away. Ball 3. So Jackson, behind 3-1, will deliver. Pitch on the way. Good pitch. Outer edge. Sinker taken for a strike. It's 3-2. The 3-2. Fastball just inside, underneath the hands, and it's a leadoff walk to start the bottom of the 7th. Jackson Stevens from Oxford, Alabama, was originally drafted by the Cincinnati Reds in 2012. 29-year-old was the 18th round draft. It's hard to believe because they don't have those deep drafts anymore in Major League Baseball. It's weird to see that. The 0-1, the first pitch on the way to Dante Bichette is swung on and fouled straight back. It's 0-1, right there on the hands, fastball. One on, nobody out. The 0-1, swing and fouls it out of way. It's 0-2. Stevens has been with the Braves since 2022. Pitched with the Reds from 17 to 19. The 0-2 pitch. Whiffs! Swing and a miss. Kind of flailed at the pitch on the outer edge. And there's one away. Good way to bounce back there for Jackson Stevens. One down. That'll bring Jansen, the hind catcher, to the plate. Righty-righty matchup. The first pitch, curveball floats in inside for a ball. It's 1-0. Runner on first. Double play situation here with the catcher at the plate. The 1-0. Swing and a miss over the top. It's 1-1. So he's gone curveball, fastball to set it up. Left-hander warming up in the Toronto Blue Jays pen. Brandon Little. Expect to see him in the next inning. The 1-1 swung on and fouled down the line. It's 1-2. Braves 3, Toronto nothing. Bottom of the 7th. Braves 3 runs, 3 hits, no errors. Toronto no runs, 2 hits, no errors. Jackson comes set, lets her go. Good take by Jansen. It's 2-2. Cut her off the edge. Looked like he was about to offer at it and just snapped his wrist back. So a 2-2 count. Lets her fly. Outside high, 3-2. Full count. Runner on first. The payoff pitch. Stevens lifts his red glove. And swing, and that ball is hammered down the left field line into the corner. Is going to rattle around. They're going to send the runner. He's winding around third, heading for home, and he is safe. He was going on the pitch, and he'll score with these, and that's a 1-out RBI double for Danny Jansen. And the lead is cut to 3-1. Pretty good pitch, honestly. Jansen must have been looking for it because he leaned out there and poked that ball over the third baseman's head, rattled around in the corner like a pinball. By the time the Braves got it back in to the infield, the run had scored. First pitch on the way to Brown. Das Brown takes it inside for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Outside wide, cutter misses. 2-0. So 2-0 count. Dawson Brown, 22-year-old from Oakville, Ontario, Canada. The 2-0. Just grabs the outer edge for a strike. It's 2-1. One down, runner on second. Braves lead 3-1. The 2-1. Curveball floats in there and grabs the above the knees for a strike. It's 2-2. 2-2 count. Brown steps out and then steps back in. Pitch on the way. Swing! Pops it up. Will it stay in play? Chasing it over towards the dugout. And it bends about 7 or 8 rows back. Not a whole lot of foul territory here at Dunedin, the Toronto Blue Jays facility, spring training facility. Remember, they had to play some games here. Apologize, I didn't realize that the screen was still up. It's not Dante, it's Dawson. 2-2 pitch on the way. Caught, looking, strike 3. Two outs. Good pitch. Dawson Brown will go back to the dugout. And looks like Brian Snicker's going to make a pitching change. So that's all he wanted to see out of Stevens today. We will be back in a flash. Pitching change for the Atlanta Braves. We'll talk about that when we come back. It's McSteen coming to the Hill. Welcome back. Jake McSteen, the southpaw, throws the first pitch outside and away for a ball. It's 1-0. He'll face Morris here with 2 outs and runner on second. The 1-0 pitch. I guess they're saying that missed wide. That looked like a good pitch, a good solid strike on the outer edge. Instead, it's 2-0. The 2-0 swing, and that ball is corkscrewed over towards third. Picks it up, flips it over to first, a 5-3 putout, and that'll end the inning. So the Toronto puts one on the board, but the Braves keep it right there. We'll be back in a flash. Top of the 8th, Braves lead it 3-1.
Give me a phrase that somebody born after the year 2000 wouldn't understand.
Is it in the white pages or yellow pages?
You got to put it on channel 3.
Please don't text me. It costs me a dime every time.
Really took me off her top 8. Like, after everything we've been through, she's just gonna remove me from her top 8. Like we weren't ever friends. Like,
get off the internet. I need to call your grandmother.
Smoking or non-smoking?
What time is the movie? I don't know. Let's call and ask.
Oh no! If it's not working, you've just got to blow on it, right? Yeah, no. Pull it out, turn it upside down, and then just jam it back in there. That'll work.
The Cowboys are headed to the Super Bowl. Can't really think of a phrase, but I can think of a noise.
Armchair.
Boston reliever Calvin Schiraldi needed just 3 outs to win the game. Veteran first baseman Bill Buckner, hobbled by leg injuries all year, was often replaced in late innings with a younger player. This time, manager John McNamara kept him in the game. And the Mets are down to their last out.
I remember I was standing there thinking to myself, this is going to be the first ever interview in the wake of a Red Sox championship. There was no radio in 1918. There was no television, obviously. This is the first recorded moment after the Red Sox have won a world championship. So I'm thinking, how should that be summed up? What do you say to Mrs. Yawkey? What do you say to McNamara? What do you say to Boggs and Rice and Seaver and whomever else?
And Roger Clemens hoping for that last out. Lined into left field, base hit for Carter, and the Mets are still alive.
Welcome back to Braves Country. Braves Country Radio, as we bring you Braves Country Baseball here. The Braves lead at 3-1. 3 runs, 3 hits, no errors for Atlanta. 1-3-0 for Toronto. First pitch on the way to start this inning will be from Brendan Little, the southpaw, who was in AAA last year for the Blue Jays, had a 4.05 ERA. He is facing Phillip Evans, the now shortstop, 31-year-old from the right side of the plate. Missed with the first pitch 1-0, and the 1-0 pitch misses high and out of the zone. It's 2-0. Phillip Evans from Whittier, California, was drafted by the New York Mets in 2011. The 2-0 pitch. High and out of the zone, ball 3. Has played sparingly over the last decade with the Mets, 1 year with Chicago, the Cubs, and a couple with Pittsburgh, most recently with Arizona and the Yankees. The 3-0 pitch, called for a strike, top of the shelf. It's 3-1. So a 3-1 count. High and out of the zone, ball 4. That'll put a runner on to lead off the inning. That pitch was in pitch-out territory. That'll bring Luke Williams to the plate. This year for Braves Country Baseball, Braves Country Radio, programming has changed this year. We hope something that y'all will enjoy. We're going to be doing a live pregame show half hour before the game starting on opening day. It's the first pitch on the way to Williams is inside for a strike. It's 0-1. During the spring training, we're doing about a 10-15 minute, depending on what there is to talk about. But come opening day, we're doing a live half-hour pregame show. The 0-1 pitch, swung on, bang, foul down the line. It's 0-2. So we'll come on about 40 minutes before first pitch because we'll still step aside to give you the starting lineups, but all that will be posted on each post. So we're doing a live pregame show. We're going to do a live postgame show with open phone lines for anyone that wants to call in and celebrate or, vent. Either way. The 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Thought he might have got a piece of it to stay alive, but the umpire said he did not. The ball did pop out of the catcher's glove. Home plate umpire says he did not make contact. There's one away. That'll bring Dean to the plate. Justin Dean coming into play center field. Batted .199 in AA and AAA, 117 games last year. The 1-0 pitch. Check swing, went around. 1-1. Had 9 home runs last year in the minor leagues. Runner on first, 1 out. The pitch on the way, swing and a miss. 1-2. They're calling it a four seam, but is the fastball that keeps missing the bat looks more like a diving slider. Tommy Doyle warming up in the Braves bullpen. The 1-2 bounces off the plate. 2-2. So a live pregame show, half hour before first pitch, a live postgame show. Be about a half hour or so, depending on what all there is to talk about that night. The 2-2 pitch, swung on, bang, foul off the plate. We'll do it again. And then, of course, we're still doing the pitch-by-pitch, play-by-play. We will be here Monday through Saturday, and we'll still put up Sunday Fun Day chat. It's hard to work in the Sunday broadcast with my schedule. The 2-2 pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. 2 down. We get this channel built the way that we're hoping it gets built. We'll eventually add Sundays. But as of right now, I've got to work about 4 jobs to make this thing work. Once again, they're calling that pitch a fastball, but maybe it's just because he's coming so far downhill, but it really looks more like a slider. First pitch on the way to Lopez, who's in for Ozzy Albies. Alejo Lopez takes the pitch down and in for a ball. It's 1-0. Lopez, 7 home runs last year in AAA. Batted .292, but an .811 OPS. The 1-0, right down the pipe for a strike. It's 1-1. It's pretty impressive OPS for Lopez, who doesn't have much pop in his bat to be in the 800. I appreciate that pushing buttons. Latrell steps off the mound for a second. Goes back to work. 1 on, 2 out, 2-1 pitch. Pitch on the way. Just misses up top. It's 3-1. So a 3-1 to Lopez. Standing on deck would be Nacho Alvarez, one of my new favorite players, just because I love the guy's name. 20-year-old top prospect in the Braves organization. The 3-1, high and out of the zone, ball 3. So Nacho's coming to the plate. Nacho Alvarez, by the way, is batting .375 here in the spring. going wild here. 2 on, 2 out. And the number 2 hitter, Alvarez, who's in for Orlando Arcia, obviously don't want anything bad to happen to Orlando, but I can't wait to see Nacho hit the bigs down the road. Just 20 years old and is really taken off in the Braves system. First pitch on the way to Nacho's outside wide for a ball. It's 1-0. He's from Fontana, California. Went to college at Riverside Community College. The 1-0 pitch. High and out of the zone. Ball 2, 2-0. He was drafted in the 5th round of the 2022 draft by the Atlanta Braves. 155th pick overall. The 2-0, inside, ball 3. So a 3-0 count. Lefty, righty. 2 on, 2 out. The pitch on the way. Just grabbed the outer edge for a strike, taken all the way. Looked like from Nacho, it's 3-1. 3-1 count. Baldwin stands on deck. Remember, he's in the game for Travis d'Arnaud. Braves lead at 3-1. The pitch on the way, down and in. Ball 4. So Nacho gets himself a plate. Heads on down to first. The bases are now juiced. Behind catcher Baldwin. Pitching coach for Toronto's heading out to the mound to talk to Luttrell. Gives us a chance to talk about Drake Baldwin. Drake Baldwin, he is just 22 years old, 6 foot, 210-pound catcher, and he was born in Madison, Wisconsin, went to college at Missouri State. Your Atlanta Braves drafted him 2022 in the 3rd round, so he was in the same draft class as Nacho. The number 96 overall pick. So pretty high draft picks here. Righty-lefty matchup is the skipper will head back to the dugout. Oh, I'm sorry, lefty-lefty matchup. Pitch on the way to Drake. Inside. 1-0. Just like Nacho, I love the name Drake Baldwin just from being a Seinfeld fan over the years. The Drake steps in. Pitch on the way. High and out of the zone again. Ball 2. Drake Baldwin batting just 143 here in the early going of spring training. Trying to find a way to push a run across. The 2-0 pitch. High! Whoa! He had to duck. That ball was, I think that was an off-speed pitch, thankfully, because that was near his noggin. Drake had to bend down. It might have been his sinker. Wasn't quite as fast as his fastball, that's for sure. So a 3-0 count, bases juiced. Pitch on the way. Drake taking all the way. It's 3-1. You had to figure he was going to make him throw a strike after all that nonsense that just went on. 3-1 count, bases loaded, 2 outs. Pitch on the way. A little high, but they called it for a strike. It's up around letter high, and it's full count. So there's 2 strikes now. That's the bad news. The good news is the runners will be on the move. Anything that gets down into the gap should clear the bases. The 3-2 pitch swung on. That ball is rifled down the left field line. That's going to get down into the corner. 1 run will score. That ball's going to get brought back into the infield. 2 runs will score. That ball comes into third base. 3 runs will score, and your Atlanta Braves. Bases clearing double. Love the Drake. It's 6-1 Hot Atlanta. The Drake is good. Looks like they're going to make a pitching change. We'll be back in a flash to introduce the right-hander coming in from the pen of the Toronto Blue Jays. The right-hander Eric Pardinho is coming on. Last year in single A had a 7.15 ERA. Oof. A 290 opponent's batting average and a 1.64 whip. First pitch on the way is swatted down the right field line, but foul. So in one, Ethan Workinger is now in the game and at the plate. Workinger is in for Luplo. Righty-righty matchup. Pitch on the way. Floats a off-speed number right there for a strike. Looked like the slider. That's 0-1. The 0-1. Lets her go. Swung on. That ball is hit down right field. Deep into the right field, but it's going to be caught at the warning track for allowed out number 3. But not before your Atlanta Braves put 3 on the board. We lead it 6-1 in Braves country.
Say what you want, but I'm a blue-collar queen through and through, y'all. Through and through. Serving mashed potatoes one plate at a time. Someone had to step to the front lines and do it. That was me. That was me.
Y'all, my wife asked me how I managed to stay with her for 16 years. I told her she got enough personalities to keep me occupied for another 20.
That's it. I'm elevating us to threat level yellow. It's time.
Yellow?
Yeah, it's time.
What were we before?
Orange, of course.
Orange is much more threatening than yellow.
No, that's an old system that doesn't work anymore. Clearly, yellow is more threatening than orange.
Red.
Good.
Orange, red.
This is yellow.
Red.
This is that more threatening?
Yellow, orange, red. It's backwards going to yellow.
Wow. Color fight.
And now suddenly with 2 out in the 10th inning, the tying runs are aboard and Ray Knight will be the batter. And that's going to be hit into center field, base hit. Here comes Carter to score, and the tying run is at third in Kevin Mitchell. And John McNamara goes to the mound. Said he wants Bob Stanley to pitch to Mookie Wilson.
And I remember I said to the people in the truck, what happens if they tie the game? And they said, you get the hell out of there as fast as you possibly can.
2 out in the 10th, 5-4 Red Sox, 2-2 to Mookie Wilson. And it's going to go to the backstop. Here comes Mitchell to score the tying run. Oh, brother. So the winning run is at second base with 2 out, 3-2 to Mookie Wilson. Little roller up along first, behind the bag. It gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight, and the Mets win it.
was surreal. At this point, the cellophane comes off. They start backing the cameras out, and I'm watching over my shoulder as Wilson hits the ground ball through Buckner's legs. You have never seen so much equipment and so many people disappear from one place so fast. Before the Red Sox could come out of the visitors' dugout and down the tunnel and into the room, all traces of the preparation for a championship had been removed.
Welcome back. Tommy Doyle is coming to the mound. He will face Beltre. Tommy Doyle, the right-hander, fires the first pitch towards the plate, little off the edge. For a ball, it's 1-0. Tall Tommy Doyle is from Vienna, Virginia, drafted by the Rockies in 2017. The 1-0, swing and a miss over the top. It's 1-1. Tall Tommy Doyle, 27 years old, 6'6", 244 pounds. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. Pulled the string on that one. It's 1-2. Braves signed Doyle as a free agent back in November. When I first looked at the roster today, I thought maybe he came over as an afterthought in that Pierce Johnson trade. He signed as a free agent in November. The 2-1 or the 1-2 pitch is off the edge, way wide of the plate, 2-2. The 2-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. Went around, kind of a half-hearted swing, but went around nonetheless, and there's one away. I like these red spring training hats the Braves have been wearing. I personally don't think I'll get one because I don't typically wear bright red like that. It's got to be a darker red if I wear it, but I do think they're pretty sharp spring training hats. I always go with the blue or the white hats that they have. First pitch on the way to Devontae Brown is a swing and a miss, strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1 off the plate, 1-1. Devontae Brown, righty-righty matchup. Nate Pearson, man, I haven't heard that name in a while. He's warming up in the Toronto Blue bullpen. The 1-1 pitch swung on, grounded hard over to third, scoops it. Nacho's got it, fires it over to, that was Evans. Nacho was lunging for it. He didn't get it, and there's one away. Evans, you got to let that ball go, man. So I want to call Nacho. So 2 down. Doyle, 8 pitches in. Righty, lefty, pitch on the way to Spain. Off speed, floats inside and high. It's 1-0. We will be back at it Thursday. Braves play the Red Sox. 105 first pitch. 1-0. Right there, top of the zone, first strike. It's 1-1. Come on for the pregame show at 12:45. Then pitch-by-pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves. The 1-1 just misses high, 2-1. So a 2-1 count. Swing, and that ball is thumped into right field, down for a base hit. It's going to be a 2-out single for Spain here in the bottom of the 8th. Not a whole lot to go over, so we won't do the post-game show today, but typically we're doing post-game shows here in the spring, and we'll definitely pregame and postgame shows every game that's possible this 2024 season. Live pregame and postgame shows. The postgame shows will have open phone lines. First pitch on the way to Horwitz. Swung on and bang foul down the first base line. It's 0-1. And if you don't want to call in, you can always just put your comments in. We'll react to those as well. The 0-1 pitch. Swing and taps that foul out of the glove. Almost held on to it, but just missed holding on to it was the hind catcher for Atlanta. Baldwin, who had Drake Baldwin had a bases clearing double last inning to get the game wide open at 6-1. The 0-2 pitch misses high, 1-2. So a 1-2 count. Righty, lefty, runner on first. The pitch is on the way, swing, and that ball is scorched down the right field line, but foul. Thankfully, that got right in his wheelhouse, but he couldn't keep it straight. The 1-2. Pitch on the way, swing and a miss, strike 3. He pulled the string on that one, and that'll end the inning. Pretty good outing there for Tommy Doyle. We'll be back in a flash. Braves Country Radio.
Am I the only person that feels like they're being held hostage driving behind a school bus? 'Cause, like, why, bro? I'm not following you to the school. Why are you holding me hostage back here? I can't even go around you because you got that big blinky stop signs, bro. Why? And, like, I get it. You got to pick up the crotch goblins, but, like, after this group, can you please pull to the side of the road and let the 9,342 cars that have accumulated over the last 3 bus stops pass you? They will literally burn rubber passing you. And seriously. And I know you're thinking, what about the kids? Let them walk. You know what I mean? It'll probably do the kids some good, though. You burn off some of that excess energy and probably act right in school. Who knows? Either way, it's a win-win. You get no buses on the routes and kids act better.
If one picture is worth 1,000 words, you have seen about 1,000,000 words. But more than that, you have seen an absolutely bizarre finish to Game 6 of the 1986 World Series. The Mets are not only alive, they are well, and they will play the Red Sox in Game 7 tomorrow.
2 days later, the Mets won the championship 8-5.
I wouldn't even watch the 7th game. I knew it was over, and it didn't even matter to me. Even if they'd won, somehow they had lost in '86. And my kids, however, who were then 7 and 8 years old, were big fans, and they were incomprehensible that I wasn't watching the game. So they, of course, were watching it, and I let them call into me only when the Red Sox were winning. Then, of course, by the 6th inning, when the Mets caught up, they were tied and losing, and so I didn't hear any more of it until the end. When they came in to tell me that the Red Sox had lost, I surprisingly started crying. I didn't expect to, because I thought I was preventing myself from caring about it. And these little kids said to me, "Mom, it's all right. They'll win next year." And I remember thinking, oh my God, these kids don't know yet that they haven't won since 1918, and I can't tell them that. And I had this terrible feeling of wisdom that I did not want to impart to the kids.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Top of the 9th inning, your Atlanta Braves lead at 6-1. First pitch on the way from Nate Pearson. It's high and out of the zone for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Right there for a strike. Slider just above the knees. It's 1-1. Cal Conley is at the plate. Conley, 24-year-old, out of Orlando, Florida, drafted by the Braves in 2021. The 1-1 taken outside, 2-1. Conley, shortstop. It's pinch hitting for the designated hitter Liberato. The 2-1 swing and a miss, 2-2. Conley just 5'8", 185 pounds. The 2-2 pitch. Swung on, dragged over towards first. He's hustling down the line. Scoop, flip by the pitcher. It'll be a 1-3 put out. Good hustle by Conley, though, and there's one away. Nate Pearson, 27 years old. He was once one of the biggest prospects in all of baseball. Some injuries have really slowed him down. Last year, he did appear in 8 innings at a relief, 6 different games. The 3.24 ERA. The first pitch on the way to Kilpatrick. Kevin Kilpatrick, righty-righty matchup. Swing and a miss. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Down and away. Good take by Kilpatrick. 1-1. Kilpatrick is in for Eli White, who will replace him in right field in the bottom of the 9th. The 1-1 swing and a miss. It's 1-2. Fastball high in the zone, just blew it right by him. The 1-2 to Kilpatrick. Swung on, chopped over towards short, scoops, flips, and safe. Beats it in, beats out the throw. Good hustle by Kevin. He was flying down the line. So Pearson will try to work out of this jam. Nate Pearson, now 27 years old, out of Odessa, Florida, went to college at Junior College of Central Florida. First pitch on the way to Phillip Evans. He's right there for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1 in the dirt. Good backhanded stab by the backstop. And it's 1-1. So a 1-1 count. 1 on, 1 out, righty-righty matchup. Pearson lifts the glove and lets her go. Fastball out of the zone. Did he go around? They're going to say he did. That might be a 9th inning spring training called strike because it looked like he held up, but first base umpire might have plans for a cold one here in a second. He said, that's a strike. Come on now. The 1-2 in the dirt, way outside. This time did hold up. It's 2-2. So a 2-2 count. Warming up in the Braves bullpen appears to be Ben Bowden. A lot of alliteration in these last few players. The 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Fastball blew it right by him. 97 miles an hour above the hands on the inner cut. There's 2 away. Nate Pearson at one point was being projected as the Toronto Blue Jays' next ace. A bunch of injuries. They're now just trying to get him to where he's a reliable bullpen threat. First pitch on the way to Bunnell. Cade Bunnell is outside wide for a ball. It's 1-0. Cade from the left-hand side of the plate, righty-lefty matchup, pitch way up high, 2-0. Cade Bunnell, 26-year-old out of Madison, Wisconsin, was drafted by the Braves in the 40th round back when they had 40 rounds in 2019. Played his college ball for the Indiana Hoosiers. The 2-0 pitch. Swing! And that ball's belted high and deep into the corner. Will he make the catch? Just has enough real estate to make the catch, and that'll end the inning. Cade gave her a fly, but couldn't quite get it out. The wind was blowing it back just a bit. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country Baseball.
The fact that there is a term for domestic housewife implies that there
I'm not Carol, okay? The Minnesota Twins have a lot of fans, but it would be their biggest fan that would propel them to World Series victories in 1987 and 1991. Dick Erickson worked at the Metrodome from 1982 until he retired in 1995. In 2003, he admitted that he adjusted the ventilation system during the late inning of close games in an attempt to get baseballs to carry farther when the Twins were up to the plate. And that's not all. He also claimed the fans behind home plate were turned on when the Twins were on offense. So when did one of these incidents occur? Look no further than the 11th inning of Game 6 of the 1991 World Series. Kirby Puckett is up at the plate with the fans blowing out. Next thing you know, we're headed to Game 7. And don't think that other teams weren't suspicious. One manager went as far as to say there was a breeze blowing out when they were on defense and a breeze blowing in when they were on offense. In the 13 years he was employed by the Twins, they only had a losing record at home 3 times. Even crazier, the Twins were 8-0 at home and 0-6 on the road during their 2 World Series appearances in 1987 and 1991. So do you think the Twins were aided by the air conditioning and the fans during their 2 World Series runs? Or do you think the former superintendent was blowing things out of proportion?
It occurred to me that it was 11 years ago today. My buddy Jim came running out, hollering, "It's a boy, it's a boy." Tears running down his face. That's the last time we went to Thailand.
The moments of great personal failure or humiliation in baseball, Merkel's boner, Snodgrass's muff, Branca's pitch to Bobby Thompson. We all lose in our lives. We are fortunate enough not to have to lose in front of national television audiences. But inevitably, within a few years, there's a rehabilitation, and you feel sorry for him. Bill Buckner right now, people in Boston say, good old Bill, he did his best. They would have killed him that day. Well, it's nice that we're forgiving in that fashion.
Welcome back. Ben Bowden, the left-hander, will step to the mound. First pitch on the way from the southpaw is swung on and whistled down the third base line. It'll be fair. Slaps off the corner, and it'll end up being a lead-off double for the Toronto Blue Jays. Took a funny bounce in the corner, was heading towards the corner, and hit that little shelf and popped back out towards the infield. Hard hit ball. Left fielder had a long way to go. Workinger was chasing it towards the corner. When it ricocheted, he had to run backwards towards the infield. First pitch on the way from Bowden is up top for a strike. It's 0-1. Ben Bowden from Lynn, Massachusetts, drafted by the Rockies in 2016. The 0-1. Right there at the knees for a strike. Good pitch. It's 0-2. Ben Bowden played his college ball for the Vanderbilt Commodores. The 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Blew it right by him. Locomotive going down the line. And there's one away. That pitch had some giddy up to it. Lulled him to sleep with the slider, then blew it right by him. Lefty-lefty matchup. Now Britton on the way. First pitch is a slider high, 82 miles an hour. It's 0-1. Or 1-0, excuse me. Zach Britton, 25-year-old from Batesville, Indiana, drafted by the Blue Jays a couple of years ago. The 1-0 pitch swung on. Check swing, taps it in front of the plate, but it was called foul. I do believe it touched home plate. Zach Britton, not that Zach Britton, if you're familiar with the left-handed reliever. Zach Britton is a left-hander, bats left-handed, throws right-handed, played his college ball at Louisville, drafted by the Blue Jays in 2020. The 1-1 misses high inside. 2-1. So a 2-1 count, one down. Braves lead it 6-1. Bottom of the ninth, looking for their second win of the spring. The 2-1 pitch swung on and fouls that back. It's 2-2. The 2-2. Nacho Alvarez drifting behind the runner at second, trying to catch him napping. Pitch is on the way inside, ball 3. So a full count. Standing on deck is Brown. The 3-2 pitch swing and fouls that out of play over the third base dugout. The 3-2 pitch on the way, swung on, and that ball is hammered into the gap. It's going to get up against the wall, right center field. Playing the ball off the carom, a run will score, and it's a one-out double for Britain. It's 6-2 Atlanta. Hard hit ball, put a charge into it. And it got to the track and off the wall in a hurry. First pitch on the way to Deshaun Brown is swung on and fouled straight back. It's 0-1. Ben Bowden trying to get the last 2 outs here. The 0-1 pitch. Down and in, 1-1. All these guys on the field right now, they're fighting for a spot either on the big team, on the big league team, or they're trying to make sure they go to or stay at AAA. 0-1 in the dirt, it's 1-1. The 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss. Change up out in front, 1-2. So his off speeds are coming in low 80s, and his sinker, two-seamer, however you want to call it, is coming in into the low 90s, but it looks much faster when it comes out of his hand after that slider. The 1-2 pitch swung on, a little late on the swing by Brown, fouls it behind home plate. It's 1-2. You got a 1-2 count, runner on second. Braves lead at 6-2, 1 down. Bowden lifts the glove. Down below the knees. 2-2. So a 2-2 count. In the dirt, 3-2. The 1-2 pitch was really close. I think he might have got pinched a little bit there. Full count. Lefty, righty, pitch on the way, down and away, ball 4. So the first base umpire might be in a hurry, but it doesn't appear that the home plate umpire is, because he's kind of pinched these pitchers the last couple of innings. Lefty-lefty matchup now. Morris to the plate. First pitch on the way from Bowden is down and away for a ball. It's 1-0. Tanner Morris, 26-year-old out of Virginia. Played his college ball at the University of Virginia. The 1-0 pitch swung on, lifted high and deep, going back on the track, making the catch deep in the warning track for a loud out, number 2. Workinger had to really fight the wind to track that down. And the Blue Jays are now down to their final out. The way the ball carries in this park, I wasn't sure that was going to stay in. And the wind is pushing towards left center. Beltre will come back to the plate. He's 0 for 1 with the strikeout. First pitch on the way to Beltre is a changeup on the edge, called for a strike. It's 0-1. Manuel Beltre struck out his first time up. Lefty-righty matchup. Runners on first and second, 2 outs. Pitch on the way. Sinker looked like he might have hit the zone, but called inside. It's 1-1. Talked to a college baseball umpire the other day. Just happened to run into him, and you should have seen his reaction talking about the how inaccurate these boxes are on the screen. The 1-1 pitch right down the pipe for a strike. Change up, and it's 1-2. So a 1-2 count. Beltre comes set. Bowden lets her fly. Swung on, grounded over towards third. Backhanded, throws off his back foot, and one heck of a throw ends the game. He goes deep in. Phillip Evans had to backhand that ball about 7 or 8 feet behind the bag. He was in foul territory, and his momentum taking him towards the dugout when he threw off his back foot, almost Brooks Robinson style, and that'll end the game. Fine play to end it. The Braves win 6-2. Braves will move to 4-4 with the split squads as well, so they're now 4-4 on the spring. And it doesn't appear that we ever got any rain, even though it looked like rain all game long. 6 runs, 5 hits, no errors for the Braves. 2 runs, 6 hits, no errors for Toronto. And the game is over for a spring training game, pretty tidy game, 2 hours and 29 minutes. Much faster than it has been that we've seen. So that'll do it. Braves win. Braves win. Your Atlanta Braves win. We'll be back at it Thursday. 105 first pitch pregame show. Come on at 12:45. Braves versus the Red Sox. We'll see you then.